Hello, my lovely naysayers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm back. Had to take a deep breath and recalibrate after my last video because I was a little upset. But I'm back. Yay! So, let's see. Where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start? Okay, so today's video, we are delving into episode 2 of Gossip Girl, the reboot, the new one. For me, this episode was okay. I mean, it kept my attention. I feel like it may not have been as good as the first episode, but I'm confident that it will continue to bloom. So without further ado, all right. So first of all, I'd like to shout out to Kristen Bell for getting the bag. I don't know if for those of you who don't know who Kristen Bell is, she's Veronica Mars. She was on the show The Good Place. She be in those LG commercials. Like, sis gets the bag, and she be having her husband. I think her husband is like famous in his own right, but they gets to it, honey. And she voiced the first rendition of Gossip Girl, and so now she's back doing this one, and she has like the perfect voice for it. It's like nice and sweet, but then it's got like a tinge of evil suspense going on. So shout out to Kristen Bell. Gossip Girl here. Like, yeah, the OG Gossip Girlers know when you hear Gossip Girl here, shit finna go down. Okay, so then we open up with the bullied teachers. They're preparing for the annual teachers conferences, and they are really afraid because, as we learned in the first episode, they are bullied pretty much by the students and their parents. And so Miss Keller, she's wearing, her designer and the best of the best so that she's not bullied by the students or the teachers during the teacher conference. So let's see, the teachers are actually feeling a little better and more powerful now because they have Gossip Girl, and they've been kind of seeing the difference in the students since their tea has been randomly spilled. So they're kind of feeling themselves, but still feeling a little apprehensive as well. So Julian's dad shows up, and again, I can't remember what he does exactly, but I know well, I don't know, but I think it's something in the music industry because I want to say they said something about him having Grammys. And I remember the first episode, he said he was going on tour or something. So I'm assuming he's like in the music industry. So he still doesn't know that Zoya, who's his deceased wife's other child, he's unaware that Zoya is attending the school, which is, and I wrote it down. The school's name is Constance Billard. Yes, we know names this week. Okay. And so then Miss Keller, she's sitting on a bombshell that she wants to wait to drop, because she doesn't want Gossip Girl to get blown up, basically as soon as it starts. So she's like, I know you guys want me to spill all this tea about Zoya and blah, blah, blah. But we ain't doing all that right now because we got to keep Gossip Girl on lock type shit. So Julian is getting ready to go out with the girls or whatever because while the parents go to the teacher conference, the students go party like it's 1999 and like they're adults. So they're getting ready to go out and paint the town red and shit. And Monet and Luna are basically helping her devise a plan to throw her following off to the fact that, or basically keep them in the dark to the fact that she and Obi are no longer together because Julian is an influencer and Obi is a big part of her brand, and we can't have that. Okay. So then we see that Audrey and Pink Hair, his name is Aki. Told you I have names for y'all this week. Aki, that's Audrey's boyfriend, the guy with the pink hair. Stay with me. So those two, and damn it, what is Chuck Bass's name? I think his name is Max. I call him Chuck Bass because he just reminds me of like a bisexual, extra seductive Chuck Bass. So I'm going to call him Chuck, but I think his name is Max. So again, stay with me. So they have this like moment of sexual tension where like Chuck is kind of like flirting with Aki, and then Audrey's kind of like acting like she cares and acting like she's side-eyeing, but really I think she's kind of turned on and wants in on the action. But I could be wrong, but based on the previews, I think I'm right. So you know what? I skipped a page. Hold up. See, you know what? I really like to write and stuff. And CVS is one of my favorite stores because I'm a couponer and shit. And they be lit with the coupons. And so I buy a lot of my notebooks and stuff from there. And I bought this notebook some weeks ago because I thought it was cool. Like, it's hard, and I've never had a notebook like it's like a big ass notebook kind of thing. Like, it's like, oh, a big ass notepad, if you will, you know. So I thought it was kind of neat to do this, but now it's annoying. So it's cute and all, but I'm probably not going to buy one like this anymore because it makes it harder to stay on the page. So I think I am on the right. Okay. Brief interlude. Yes. So Audrey reveals that her mom, Kiki, is stuck in her own world and she doesn't pay her much attention. And I could believe that because Audrey gives me, my mom doesn't pay me attention, so I hate everybody vibe. So I mean, I get it. And pink hair, also known as Aki, tells us that mom is getting a divorce and you just need to cut her some slack, Audrey, and Audrey really doesn't want to hear that shit. And so Julian and her clique are basically freaking out because Julian is losing followers because they're like, where is Obi? Where in the world is Obi? They don't know. And so they're like, well, shoot, if we don't see Obi, we ain't studying you. And so then Julian and her feelings, because she like, damn, I thought they liked me. They only like half of me, which is the other half is him. Like, that's not cool. And so she hits up Obi because she's like, oh, excuse me, y'all. I made some tacos. Okay. And okay. My brain just went like this. It's back on now. Okay. So Julian and her friends, well, I guess they're friends, they are devising a plan to basically get Obi and Julian back together, more so just make it look that way. Because I don't think that the clique really care like that. I just think they really need the image because they are Julian's friends and Julian is an influencer. Therefore, they too have influence. So, just a dog eat dog world kind of thing. Everyone is genuinely out for themselves, but we're going to pretend like we're friends and shit. So, Julian hits up Obi because she's like, I'm going to get him back. This is all going to blow over. Like, no, I'm just going to apologize and everything's going to be fine. And so she texts Obi, and then Obi texts her right back. And he was like, I'm going to bed early, maybe tomorrow. But then we soon see Obi coming up off the subway, and he about to go kick it with Zoya. Oh, word, Obi? You don't waste no time. Okay, cool. So then this teacher named, I think his name is Caperos, which I hadn't noticed him before this episode, but he's an elective teacher. I don't know what elective he teaches, but him and Max have this kind of like sexual tension thing going on, and they that teacher is at the where were they at? My brain. See, that's why I make videos in the morning time, because I swear my brain don't work after 7. Okay. The kids' party while the parents were at the teacher conference. The teacher, Caperos, he didn't have to go because he's an elected teacher and they're not required to go. So he decided he was going to go party with the kids, so to speak. So Max is basically trying to shoot his shot because he's like, well, hell, you here, so what's up? And he like, no, you not of age. I don't fuck my students. We ain't doing none of that. That's a direct quote. That's what he said, not me. And so they kind of have like this sexual tension thing going on, but at the same time, the teachers kind of pretending like, I don't mess with you like that, whatever. So Zoya and Obi, they have a moment outside of Zoya's building because Obi, like I said, we see him coming up off the subway and he goes to find Zoya. And even though she's on punishment, her dad is at the teacher conference, so he's not there. So she, sneaks down and meet him. They have a moment. And to our surprise, I didn't know the person. I doubt they were a teacher because the teachers were at, teacher conference. So I'm not sure who this rando was, but it was a woman outside with a dog that she was walking, and she snapped a photo of Obi and Zoya and sent it to Gossip Girl, and it pretty much got put out. So, okay, so just as Miss Keller breaks the news, Zoya's dad shows up to speak with her. And unfortunately for Gossip Girl, Julian's flunkies got ahead of the story by posting an old photo of Julian and Obi in the same dress that uh, Julian is currently in at the party that they're at right now. So it kind of makes it look like Gossip Girl just making up stuff, whatever. This my man. I got this on lock. You ain't talking about none, Gossip Girl. We good type shit. So with that being said, because Julian, and she has, what do they call them? Julians? And I was like, that's really creative. Like, your name is Julian and your followers are Julians. Like, you guys are naysayers and I'm Naysha. Hey, okay, cool. So they the fans and followers, they pretty much start trolling Gossip Girl. Like, well, shit, if Obi is over here with Julian, then what are you talking about? So they pretty much flag all the photos, and Miss Keller freaking out because she's like, oh my gosh, like the spot got to get blown up, and whatever. So then Audrey and Kiki, which is her mom, they have an exchange, and we found that Audrey's mom is pretty depressed because her dad, which is Audrey's dad, left her for her former friend who used to be her assistant and used to be in a house telling her how much she loved their family and how much she wanted a family like that and how she basically took the family. And I said, well, damn. That's sad. That's very scandalous. That's very scandalous. I'm sorry that happened. So yeah, she's pretty much dealing with that, and she also has a business that we soon find out she's recently filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy for. So Dukes is not really in a good space right now. She's not. She's taking meds. She's drinking. It's just not a good look. So then Zoya's dad tells her she's on probation. I wrote probation, child. Zoya's dad tells her she's on punishment and she better stay on the straight and narrow or she will be kicked out of school. And I'm like, damn, what does Zoya be on? Like, well, I mean, I'm not saying that kids and teenagers don't get into stuff, but it's like, what could she possibly do? You know what I'm saying? Besides something just real reckless to get her actually kicked out of school. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. I don't fucking know. So, right. So Miss Keller, she's, back at work and she's all distraught because she's like, they're throwing bricks in my window. And the white guy teacher, who I can't remember his name, I don't think I ever knew his name, but he's like, oh my gosh, they know where you live. And she's like, not literal bricks. Like, I think I could get her, not literal bricks. But like, yeah, I'm working on it because I feel like I can do Miss Keller. I'm gonna have to not literal work. I'm gonna have to work on it. But anyway, she's just oh my gosh, they've been flagging me. My phone been going off. Da, da. I'm like, girl, you could have turned your phone off and went to sleep. Like, I know you pretending to be a teenager, but like, you grown. You don't know. You could have just turned the phone off and went to sleep and dealt with that shit the next day. Like, girl, okay. Come back to the adult world. You just pretending to be a teenager, like, but maybe not. Okay. So then Zoya and Julian have a moment of eye contact when they get to school the next day before Audrey whisks her away because she has something so important to tell her. And so when Audrey and Julian walk up to Pink Hair and Chuck, then she sees them looking at the teacher, Mr. Caperos, his Instagram page. And so he basically has like a bunch of thirst traps posted. Like, he's like, naked and shaving and da 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 da. And so Chuck is like, oh, I know those towels. He be going to the bathhouse. And so I guess the bathhouse is like this homosexual place where people go and be naked and in a sauna and just doing bath-like things, I guess. And so he's like, well, yeah, I'm about to start going there because I'm gonna get him. So okay. And so Audrey's like, so my boyfriend's looking at a naked guy. And so she's trying to act like she's like shocked and well, not really shocked, but like she cares. But it's like, girl, y'all just was having sex last weekend and he told you it was okay to think about him. Y'all know what page y'all on. What y'all? Come on. So you want to pretend like you feel some type of way your dude looking at this dude when you know your dude probably like dudes? Like, I know your dude like dudes, Audrey. Y'all know that? Y'all was in quarantine together? But anyway, so Obi makes it clear that after Okay, let me back up. So Julian is inside the building and she sees Zoya outside being, the little innocent freshman reading for class. And she sees Obi from across the hallway, and Obi doesn't see Julian initially. He sees Zoya. Tunnel vision type shit. Like, there's Zoya. So he was going to see Zoya. And then Julian was like, Obi, well, I'm sorry. And, blah, blah. And Obi was like, look, it's been real. It started off fun, but it ain't been fun in a while, and I'm straight. So I'm gonna go and deal with sis, and you just kind of figure it out. And so she's like, well, damn, like, wow, like that's crazy, like, wow. And so he goes out and sits with Zoya or whatever, and okay, and they get a little morning canoodling going on, and so and where do I know Obi from? I've seen Obi in something. I just don't know what it is. Please tell me. I don't know, but I know I've seen Obi in things before. So the clan makes a plan to make Obi lose interest in Zoya. They're like, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. So we can't make him not deal with her, but we can make him not want to deal with her. So how they gonna do that? I don't know. But they're some evil bitches, so they're gonna figure it out. So Chuck and Pink Hair go to the bathhouse, which I just discussed, and they want to find the sexy teacher. And then Chuck decides, I'm gonna make him jealous. And so he enlists Aki to make out with him to, get the teacher's attention. And so Aki gets a little boner. And Chuck's like, yeah, mission accomplished. While Aki's sitting there trying to pretend like he's not bisexual. Like, Aki, you're in a bathhouse with your bisexual AF friend and you just made out with him and your dick got hard. Like, what? But again, I have to remember they're teenagers, so they're not like as rational. So I mean, I guess it wouldn't seem that simple, but to me it's like, okay. So then let's see, where was I? This is a long ass show and something goes on like every 3 seconds, so y'all just have to bear with me. I be trying to make these reviews like, you know what I'm saying, but like this show is an hour and ain't no commercials and it's a lot of shit going on, so y'all just rock with me. So told you about this damn notebook. I just read that page. Okay, so Zoya's dad didn't I just read that? Wait a minute. Yeah, I can't with this notebook no more. I'm gonna have to just use the straight regular spiral from now on because this is okay. So Zoya and Mrs. Keller meet up so Zoya can volunteer, and Zoya reveals that she didn't have a good situation at her other school either. So we're wondering, Zoya, what happened with that? Now we find out that Miss Keller actually knows because I think she's like her advisor or something, but we don't know yet. But we gonna know, and I'm really curious because Zoya, I mean, you can't put nothing past nobody, especially a teenager. But she gives me, like want to be a good person vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like she don't typically be on bullshit. So I'm curious to know what happened at the last school and why she may not need to be there. So then there's a fundraiser and Audrey is like student council president or something like that. And so therefore she has like a big hand in the ceremony or whatever, not the ceremony, in the event. So she wants her mom to be there. And it's like a fundraiser for, I think, school supplies for underprivileged children maybe. And excuse me. So Zoya and her dad get these free tickets to go to the event. And she thinks, they think that they're from the school because that's how Obi fashioned it. However, Obi actually bought the tickets and sent them to Zoya and her dad to make it seem like, they kind of had to go. And, with her being on the chopping block with the whole, all the crazy stuff going on. They're like, we're going to go and we don't want to ruffle any feathers, but come to find out, Obi actually got them the tickets because he wanted to see Zoya. And I'm like, that's so sad. A 16-year-old boy can come up with something like that to see a girl, and grown ass men out here can't even think of to take you on a date. Like, some guy. That's another video. Okay, so then we have Kiki, Audrey's mom. She comes and she seems kind of, stiff a little bit. Like that's not really where she wanted to be that day. But as she said, I'm here, so whatever. And not too long after that, we find out that she is drunk. She is falling over. She done fell out. She done took her shoes off. She done fell in somebody's lap. And when Aki was like, Miss, whatever their last name is, she's like, it's Mrs. And like she broke the flute on the table, and then her hand started bleeding. She's like, ow, because when you drunk, everything's like a late reaction. So she's like, because she's basically like, I'm the Mrs. Because again, I told you her friend took her man type shit. So she's like, that bitch ain't the missus, I'm the missus type shit. So that was a trigger for Dukes right there. So now, Audrey's like, fuck, like, I really wanted her to come, and this is what you do. I'm so embarrassed. I just can't believe this. Let me call a lift. Get the fuck out of here. So Julian is freaking out when she realizes that Zoya and her dad are there, because she didn't expect them to be there, because she just assumed that they couldn't afford the tickets, which they probably can't, but your ex-boyfriend bought them for them. So Merry Christmas. So she's like freaking out, because she's like, oh my God, my dad is here. You guys are here. He's going to see your dad. It's going to be a shit show. Zoya's like, I don't really give a fuck. Look, I'm here now. This is what's going on. And I felt her on that, because it's like, damn, what do you want me to do? Like, I've been here for like 3 days, and like my whole life has been flipped upside down. Like, what do you want me to do exactly, Julian? You know what I'm saying? So I was with Zoya on that. Like, girl, come on somewhere. Go take a daddy home. Then I don't know what to tell you. Like, the fuck? So then the dads do meet. And white dad is like, the fuck are you doing here? And I think that's exactly what he said. And then the other dude, the black dad, he's like, hey, or whatever like that. And so they kind of have an exchange. And then Julian walks up in the middle of it. And she's like, I'm sorry, Dad. Like, I didn't know. And Zoya knew too. And then the black dad is like, I mean, they've been in communication their whole life. And And so it's just pretty much the spot is blown up. And by this time, Zoya done got ghosts. Her and Obi done went to a black-owned art store to buy their own supplies for the underprivileged children, because Obi got it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they went and did. So she ain't even there when none of that's going on. So then Zoya, because her dad's so disappointed in her, she now has to make Zoya, or at least attempt to make Zoya feel as bad as she does. So then she's like, oh, okay, so she go back to her flunkies, and they're like, we finna get this trick, like blah, 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 blah. So Gossip Girl in this episode is Miss Keller, because all of the teachers are basically Gossip Girl. So Miss Keller, well, aside from the woman walking the dog, Miss Keller, she's on her stalker shit today. So when she hears Obi and Zoya about to leave, she follows them. And so she's in a store across the street from the art supply store, and she's basically, catching all the action on her smartphone. So she drops a pin to Gossip Girl take it back. She drops a pin to Julian to let her know where Obi and Zoya are, of course, because, drama, and that's what she does. And so Julian uses that to her advantage, because she's like, well, you know what, my dad's mad at me, and whatever, but Dad, because he called her, and she's like, well, you know what, Zoya's not as innocent as you think she is. Get Zoya's dad and meet me here. I'm gonna drop a pin. And so I'm thinking, so the same dude that you didn't even want him laying eyes on because you were scared, you want them to travel together. And the thing is, I don't know if y'all ever been to New York, but New York is a big ass place. Like, it's a big ass place. So I'm pretty sure it don't take, depending on where the location is, but I'm pretty sure it don't take like 2 or 3 minutes to get to where y'all were, to where you was telling them to go. So these folks went on a whole 15, 20, 30, 40 minute trip via foot, cab, Uber, Lyft, train, subway, whatever, together. Nah. Like I think y'all dropped the ball on that one. That was definitely some TV shit because I just don't see these two men. Like I feel like the black dad probably would go with the white dad, which he did, but it's like I don't see the white dad actually taking the black dad nowhere with him. Because I just don't see how you be that pissed that long, especially like 5 minutes ago, and then now come with me. We're gonna go see what Zoya's doing. Like I don't know. That whole scene was kind of wiggity whack to me. I wasn't really fucking with it. But anyway, so Luna, we see that. Well, this is actually even before. Yeah, this is actually before they left. So Luna and Monet, they were taking pictures of Kiki, Audrey's mom, while she was having her meltdown, and they're laughing at it. And Monet's like, yeah, it's going to be my screensaver. And I'm like, with friends like that, who needs enemies? God damn. Like, here I am. I wasn't even thinking about y'all. I'm thinking y'all somewhere doing a party. Y'all was bystanders taking pictures, laughing. Like, but this y'all friend? Like, whoo, yeah. So anyway, okay. So Audrey and Aki have a little spat because now at this point, Audrey has called a lift and it's time to go because mommy has played the fuck out at this point. And Audrey's mad at Aki because Aki is a very peaceful person I've seen. Aki, he's a peacemaker. He's a very fair type person. He seems to really believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. But Audrey was not here for that shit. Audrey was like, look, my mom got me fucked up. I'm sick of her drunk ass and all this shit. And you sitting up here trying to tell me it's cool. I don't want to hear that shit right now. We might need to break it up. So I don't know if there's a breakup on the horizon or not. Because like I said, based on the previews, it looked like it might be a addition to the relationship minus an addition to a relationship versus a subtraction. So we'll see. I don't know. But meanwhile, Zoya and Obi are making sweet music together in the black-owned art supply store. And I keep saying black-owned because I think the dude was black. He looked kind of... For sake of this, he's black. And I keep saying black because the first Gossip Girl, I don't remember no black folks. I think yeah, I gotta do videos in the morning time because my memory, like my brain is just, I'm seeing her face. Haves and the have-nots, nobody's fool. She has a white husband. Very beautiful woman. Very, very beautiful. Dark-skinned. I can't think. And it started with a T. Tika Sumpter. I think Tika Sumpter may have guest starred like on an episode or two, but she wasn't like a main character. I can't really remember any black people besides her. Hello. This is my co-host, Princess. So she decided to make her little cameo. As you can see, she likes to get comfortable on top of my pillows. Like, don't huff. Ever met a dog with attitude? So anyway, yeah, so aside from Tika Sumpter, I can't say I remember any black people on Gossip Girl. So anywho, yeah, so it's really good to see ethnic people on Gossip Girl now. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, so they're at the black man's art supply store, doing things, philanthropy like. And in the midst of that, while they trying to do good for the world, everybody else on the outside of the damn store wreaking havoc and shit. So okay, so we're gonna press pause on where they are. So Audrey's mom. Yeah, so Audrey's mom, so this is the next morning. They're at the house and she's sobered up and she basically reveals to Audrey that shit done went left. We filed chapter 11 bankruptcy on top of the fact your dad left me for my old friend and I'm just a basket case right now and what the fuck. So they have a little moment. So I'm like, cool. Hopefully that gives Audrey, I mean, it's definitely probably nerve-wracking, but it may give her a little more compassion for her mom. Maybe Audrey just doesn't really give me compassionate vibes, so maybe not. But yeah. So then Audrey goes back to her room, and guess who's in there? Not Aki. Chuck. Yeah. Chuck was in there, and he was putting his clothes back on like they had a rendezvous the night before. And she was like, "Don't tell nobody." And I was like, excuse me. So then we fast forward to Julie and her dad. Then they have an exchange the next morning, and she's all apologetic and everything because basically the night ended with, you know, Zoya's dad basically pretty much embarrassed her in front of her friends, and yeah, pretty much. So yeah, well, I mean, it was just like it's like kind of like you read a book and it's like the whole book be good, but then the end it's like the fuck, like that's kind of how that was. It was like all this shit went on to like lead them to this place, just for when they got to the place, it wasn't really much going on. So yeah. So anywho, Julian and her dad, they have a little exchange, and he finally um accepts that this is Julian's sister, and the more I try to keep you from her, the more you'll fight it. And you guys' connection isn't about me, it's about your or her dad, it's about you guys' mom, and I'm not gonna stand in the way of that. So I was like, okay, good. In his Gucci sweater. So Max and the teacher make eye contact with each other because they get it in after graduation per the teacher. They had a little exchange at some point earlier in the episode, and he was saying he don't fuck his students, and then Max was like, well, I'm of age and I'm about to graduate and blah blah blah. And so he whispered in his ear what's going to happen after graduation, and I'm so glad they didn't tell us because I don't want to know. So then I mean, that was pretty much the episode. And then this ominous music. Oh, I forgot. So they're at school the next day, and the clan is like, oh, whatever you did, Julian, was great because Zoya's getting ready to withdraw right now. And my heart dropped a little bit. I was like, no. How y'all go? I scared you pull up. How y'all? Okay. So I'm like, how y'all gonna sit up here and where's she gonna go? I'm like, no. So then Julian's like, no. So she goes and grabs Zoya, and they go into the restroom, basically where we met them at. And she's like, no, you can't leave. I'm sorry, you can't leave. And so Zoya's like, I'll think about it. So as we all know, Zoya didn't leave, yay. But Gossip Girl, the ominous music start playing, and it's like Gossip Girl here, and then they start talking about change and shit and how things don't change, and Julian got Gossip Girl unflagged, and now she's verified and all the other type of stuff. So I wish that this show had previews. Like the only preview that I saw was like that one video about like what's gonna happen this season. So it's like they don't have a preview after every episode, or at least I've never seen one. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. It might be on there, but at least on HBO Max, I don't see like a preview for next week's episode. So I'm not sure what direction we're going in, but I mean, it left off with Zoya and Julian being cool. Julian giving Zoya her blessing for Zoya and Obi. She's like, it's been over for a while. What he takes interest in and what he cares about, I do not, and I never really have, and I see that you do. So I'm a bless you with that. And I was like, that is very big of her. That's very big of her. It really is, because first of all, Obi, you fucked up for that shit. Like I said, you are noble and shit, but you a noble ass fuck nigga if you ask me, because I don't understand. Because literally, Zoe been there for like a week, if that. That's your girlfriend now? Like, you was just dating her stuff for all this time, and then now you holding hands, and it's like the look that he gave Julian when him and Zoya were holding hands, and like Zoya and Julian made eye contact, and it was kind of like the we're good kind of thing. He just looked right through Julian. I was just like, damn, Wow, that is so sad. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much it. It's been a long ass review, but it's a long ass show. So I thank you guys for sticking with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, it's been real. Toodles.